you sure this will work?
You're the one that said we needed a bust. Just follow my lead, okay?
Friendship. Even though anime has turned the concept into an OP meme that can defeat anything, the power of friendship truly is a low-key life hack that can transform your life. The problem is that the media often shows the end result of friendship, the happy smiles, the memories, the lifelong bonds. What Zootopia 2 does is show something that we often overlook and kind of don't want to deal with. And that's the messy work that has to be done to form those lifelong bonds. Rise up, GG Nation, because it's time for Guidance Guide Friday, your digital guidance lesson from your internet school counselor. And for our last GGF of the school year, let's punch our ticket to Zootopia to see how our favorite fox and bunny duo make their friendship work. Let's go! It's guidance time!
Hops and Wild in pursuit of suspect and a stolen catering van heading east. Stop it.
When we first see Judy and Nick in action in Zootopia 2, we're witnessing a team that just clicks. They seem to know what the other is thinking, can anticipate the other's actions, and even when they disagree on what to do, somehow it all works out. Eventually, when you have a good relationship with someone, you can just vibe with them. It doesn't matter if you're doing something fun together, being bored at the same time, or just chilling. You enjoy each other's company, and things just go well when you're together. And like I said earlier, this is the kind of relationship that we all want. It comes naturally, automatically, or to put it another way, it's easy. And that's kind of the problem. For a lot of us, when we say we want strong friendships, what we're really saying is that we want relationships where we don't have to put any real effort into it. And this is the first lie that Zootopia 2 tears apart. Because in reality, friendships, especially the super strong ones we all want, very rarely come out of the box perfect and ready to go. Want an example? All we gotta do is go back to how Hops and Wild met during the first movie. For most of the first Zootopia movie, these two tolerated each other at best. They spent most of their time not trusting each other and think that the other was gonna backstab them the first chance they got. And while most friendships don't start with both people being each other's ops, there's still gonna be some friction. Things might be awkward. You don't always know what to say, or worse, you say the wrong thing or say the right thing the wrong way and the other person misunderstands you. And that's how friendships are sometimes. Because we're all people here, at least I hope so. And because people are flawed and sometimes messy, the way we interact with each other is gonna be flawed and sometimes messy. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that's okay. The problem is, like we said earlier, we want our relationships to be easy, we don't have to think about it, and everything goes the way we want it to absolutely perfectly without having to worry about those pesky human emotions that make things complicated. So what do we do with these parts of ourselves that make relationships complicated? Stay tuned!
And observe the source of her discomfort, represented by the disconnected affectation of her emotionally insecure partner.
So what do you do when you have a good thing going with a person and you're determined to keep it going? You make sure that the new person in your life sees you as close to perfect as possible. So you hide parts of yourself. Maybe it's a hobby that you think is too weird. Perhaps it's the other friends that you have. Whatever you think that weak point is, you work overtime to make sure that nobody notices that thing that you see as the worst thing about you. That actually reminds me of a couple people. First, Rumi from K-pop Demon Hunters, which my last GGF was on. Link in the description if you want to see that one next. And also everyone's favorite crime-busting bunny and fox duo. They show us that this strat is a losing move. Remember the group therapy scene where Hops and Nick are sitting around the circle wondering why they're even there? We're best buds. We're the goats of teamwork. Bro, we should be teaching this class. They're hiding too. They use sarcasm, humor, and denial to try to dodge the fact that they're not being 100% honest with neither their partner or themselves. You'd think they would have learned from the first movie when that same bad habit caused them to split up. You know what they say though, old habits die hard, and those same bad habits lead to the same result in the second movie. Because Judy and Nick aren't honest with themselves, they end up arguing, splitting up again, and almost leading to the other's demise when the twist villain reveals himself in a move straight out of Frozen. Now we can dunk on the bunny and the fox for making the same mistake twice. What if we did that to you? What if we looked at the times you weren't honest with your friends about who you were, what you like to do? How did that work out for you? Because I can guarantee, even in the times where you were able to fool everybody, you were still miserable. Lying to yourself and others can only end in two ways. You get exposed, or you end up having to keep up the lie. Neither is good. Wild and Hops show that, even if it's a hard habit to shake off, not being honest with yourself in your relationships is really just a way to speed run through it. The people who are your ride or dies, they will have your side no matter what. If you gotta change for them, then they aren't for you. And if you feel like you don't like yourself, don't try to fix that alone. Talk it out with someone in order to get the truth that you might be hiding from yourself.
It's why instead of telling you that you're the best thing that ever happened to me, I make jokes about your ears.
Given everything I said in the last section, what I'm about to say might come off as crazy. I'm gonna need you to stay with me. The last myth that our Zodiac cops decimate is the idea that good friends never argue. Yeah, that might sound weird to a lot of you, especially since I just said that these two broke up twice after a big blow up. Now, here's where I make my point. Conflict is proof that you and the other person are being honest. Because if you were to show me two friends who have been together for a long time, if they've never argued even once, not even a small little disagreement, I'm gonna show you two friends who have never been honest with each other. Either one of them is capping to the other, or they're both low-key lying to each other to keep the peace. Every good friendship has disagreements, maybe even a few arguments. Now, if every conversation is an argument, then we got a problem. Like I said, people can be messy, and a lot of that messiness can come from our preferences, opinions, the things that get us excited, and the things that just we can't stand. And because everyone is different, there will be differences that pop up that may appear as arguments and disagreements. And I'm here to tell you that this is 100% good. And these two don't just show that conflict is good, they even show how to heal from it when it gets too hot. Look at how Nick and Judy are when they patch things up. They're finally honest with themselves and each other, and they're willing to listen to what their friend is saying. They aren't trying to win or get the last word or get the other person to admit that they were wrong. It's about understanding and finding the best way forward. Most times our arguments aren't that deep, and we should try to move on from it. If it isn't and the other person is being difficult, don't be afraid to bring in someone else to help. Just make sure the other person is also honest about the situation and is willing to listen, and they're not just standing from your point of view. As we enter summer, we have time to do so much. Why not add a friend to that list? Just remember that friendships don't just happen. They take time and effort. That honesty is the best policy, and that conflict can be the key to a deeper understanding as opposed to a red flag that it's not going to work out. Even though it felt super quick, it took Hobbs and Nick over a year to get their friendship to the way it was in Zootopia 2. So this summer, maybe the time is right to slow down and see where your relationships take you. We all know that making friends isn't easy, quite the opposite actually. And yet, we keep trying to look for that one person who gets us. And when you find your Nick or Judy, it's a special connection that you want to keep. And a major part of that friendship and just being a good person in general is having empathy. And if you want to learn more about it, come check out this video on how empathy was the secret weapon in the last season of My Hero Academia. See you there! Got its guy out.